Chen Ping'an crossed the floodplain and fell into the East China Sea. He was rescued by the clouds and taken to Sanxian Island. Although awakening the system, it is embarrassing to make full use of it, only rewarding cultivation without any techniques or treasures. The only martial art is the Dragon Elephant Prajnaparamita. Just as Chen Ping'an felt that relying on the system was hopeless, he had to seek guidance from his master. Zhao Gongming arrived at Sanxian Island, hoping that Yunxiao could lend him the golden dragon to go to Xiqi to find the burning lamp and retrieve the Dinghai Pearl. Chen Ping'an only then realized that the Fengshen Liang Jie had already erupted. The three Yunxiao sisters are in danger, and their peaceful days in Sanxian Island have come to an end. Fortunately, sweeping the floor for 100 years has been successful, and the long dormant system has also begun to unleash the power that a golden finger should possess. Feilu novel network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 001. Sweeping the floor for a century, Dragon Elephant Prajnaparamita skill. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Honghuang, Donghai, Sanxian Island. Here, cranes soar, spirit beasts compete, and there are vast expanses of blue waves outside. Inside, there is a mist of purple air, and at the end, it is a blessed place for immortal families. Among them are the three great teachers of the Intercept Church: Yunxiao Fairy, Xiao Fairy, and Bixiao Fairy. In addition to three fairies, there is also a servant on Sanxian Island, specially responsible for cultivating spiritual roots, raising immortal birds and animals, as well as daily island chores such as carrying water, watering pine trees, planting peaches, and burning fires. However, even the three fairies on Sanxian Island do not know. The servant on the island is not a native of the wilderness, but rather a traveler from the Blue Star. Do I want to come to the wilderness? I don't want to. But since I've traveled, what can I do? Do I want to work as a laborer on Sanxian Island? I don't want to. But who made me cross over and fall into the vast ocean? If it weren't for the Cloud Fairy who happened to pass by and save my dog's life, I would probably have fed the East China Sea fish and shrimp long ago, with no bones left. Do I want to stay on Sanxian Island forever? I don't want to. But who knows that not far from Sanxian Island is Jinao Island, where there is a heavenly way saint sitting. If the identity of the intruder is exposed, the ghosts will know if they will be wiped out. Chen Ping settled down his broom and looked into the distance. Out of sight, there are places like Jinao Island, Donghai Dragon Palace, Kunlun Mountain, Shouyang Mountain, Hua Imperial Palace, Xumi Mountain, Nanshanmen, and even the Purple Sky Palace standing in the chaotic sea 33 days away. The flood is vast and exciting. But the flood and famine are equally terrifying. The biggest rule here is that there are no rules. Murder, treasure hunting, and the law of the jungle are happening every moment. It's still safe on Sanxian Island. Chen Ping'an shook his head slightly. Yunxiao, Xiao, and Bixiao are great powers in the martial arts world. He is a strong person who can rank high in the entire flood and famine. Especially the Cloud Fairy, whose cultivation level has already caught up with the four inner disciples, has two major weapons in her hands: the Golden Dragon Scissor and the Xuanyuan Golden Doe. In addition, with the Nine-Bend Yellow River Formation, it can be said that there are no opponents under the sage. Moreover, Sanxian Island is adjacent to Jinao Island. Except for Daozu Hongjun from Xiao Palace, there would be no other Heavenly Way sage in the entire wilderness who could avoid the Heavenly Sect Master and suddenly descend on Sanxian Island. So, as a sudden traveler running into the wilderness, Chen Ping'an feels very lucky. You don't need to work hard to climb mountains and wade through water to find immortal fate, nor do you need to roar with righteous indignation about the unfairness of heaven. 30 years in the West and 30 years in the East, don't deceive young people into poverty. The only thing to worry about is simply sealing the gods and measuring the calamity. Fengshen Liang Jie is the battlefield of the big shots. He is a small worker on Sanxian Island, who would bother him with nothing to do. Moreover, Sanxian Island also has a protective island formation. The cloud sits in the quasi-holy realm for cultivation, and the prohibition of the Three Immortals Island is bound to be able to resist the attack of the quasi-holy realm. In the Fengshen Liang Jie, the 12 golden immortals of the Chan sect were stripped of a layer of cultivation in the Nine-Bend Yellow River formation. After the equal amount of calamity, it is the cultivation of the Daoyuo golden immortal realm. The Antarctic fairy and cloud neutron still have a quasi-sacred realm. But these two people, they don't even know and disdain to run to Sanxian Island to rob. Those who can come in are not interested, while those who are interested cannot come in. Overall, the impact of the Fengshen Liang Jie, which caused the entire Jiajiao tree to fall and scatter, on Chen Ping'an was not significant. Ding! Congratulations to the host for sweeping the floor for 4 hours today and obtaining 10,000 years of cultivation. Chen Ping'an heard a familiar system prompt sound in his mind. And Chen Ping'an has long been calm about this. 10,000 years of cultivation is useful. Perhaps with a different cultivation level, one can achieve a strong cultivation after 10,000 years. But this is a wasteland. The flood and famine do not remember the year. Top leaders can easily shut themselves down for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years, with 10,000 years of cultivation. What is it enough for? The most crucial thing is, I have traveled through and now I have a system. The system not only rewards cultivation, but also rewards cultivation. There are no pills, techniques, or spiritual treasures, only cultivation rewards will be given. This is a desolate world. What is the most important aspect of cultivating in the world of the wilderness? Roots and feet. The big shots who now dominate the world are not deeply rooted. Daozu Hongjun goes without saying that he himself is one of the reincarnations of the Chaos 3000 demon gods. There is no need to say much about Sanqing, which is rooted in the inheritance of Pangu with a red seedling. Nu Wasage, the two saints of the West, they all have extremely terrifying origins. Going further down, the Cloud Fairy, transformed by the first ray of white cloud and rosy light in the vast world, Zhao Gongming, the first clear breeze between heaven and earth transformed into a Dao, Kong Xian, the descendant of the first phoenix born to the Yuan Feng in ancient times. What is Chen Ping'an's foundation? He himself doesn't know. Probably, just an ordinary human race after birth. Roots determine the upper limit of talent. Without that talent, no matter how long the cultivation time is, it is only a matter of working experience. If it's a vegetable chicken, then it's still a vegetable chicken. In theory, if the foundation is not good, then the system can provide some nyobi techniques or powerful spiritual treasures. For example, what is the Pangu 9-turn golden body technique? What is the Hongmeng level, the Dao level martial arts? For example, rewarding spiritual treasures such as chaos beads or fragments of creation jade dishes. The fact is, the system only gave one skill when sending beginner gift packages. Dragon Elephant Prajnaparamita skill. At first, Chen Ping'an was very excited for a while, but the more he thought about it, the more he felt that there seemed to be something wrong with the name of this cultivation method, until he remembered who practiced it. In the world of divine sculptures, the Golden Will Dharma King. It's the Golden Will Dharma King who hits everyone in 5 or 5 strokes. In the world of the wilderness, give me a low martial level cultivation technique. Not to mention rewarding 10,000 years of cultivation is equivalent to billions of years of cultivation, it's useless. So Chen Ping'an was honest and obedient, serving as his inner steward on the Three Immortals Island, tending to spiritual plants, feeding spiritual beasts, and sprinkling water to sweep the floor. In the hope that one day, the 3 fairy sisters will take advantage of their diligence. Give me the cultivation method of the upper clear meridian. Alternatively, it's okay to throw away 2 postnatal spiritual treasures. After finishing what he had to do today, Chen Ping'an lay down along a mountain and stone, gazing into the distance at the rolling clouds, the vast sea and sky, and suddenly thought of a question. System, it seems like I've been sweeping the floor of Sanxian Island for 100 years, right? Do you have any accumulated rewards for my diligence and 8 hours of sweeping the floor every day? Chapter 002 Fengshen Liang Jie, Zhao Gongming ascends the island. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 2 The traveler must have a golden finger or system. Chen Ping'an has a system. But compared to the systems of other villagers, this system is completely inadequate. Sign-in system, multi-child and multi-blessing system, display system, bandit system. It seems that the system that Chen Ping'an is aware of has generous rewards when the host completes tasks, but his own system is a real trap. Enjoying social blessings before traveling, 996 every day. After traveling, it becomes even more outrageous, sweeping the floor for 4 hours a day, which is 8 hours. While enjoying the blessings, one can still fish in the water, but the system's prescribed sweeping time is actually 8 hours. There is no reward for missing a second. After a few attempts, Chen Ping'an cleans the floor honestly for 8 hours every day. The system is not ambiguous. After clocking in every day while sweeping the floor, you will receive a reward of 10,000 years of cultivation. Chen Ping'an roughly estimated that he should have 350 million years of cultivation now. Unfortunately, I practice the Prajnaparamita Dragon Elephant technique. As for how many levels of cultivation he has reached now, Chen Ping'an himself has no idea. Anyway, it's still easy and it's done. 100 years, I have been to Sanxian Island for a whole 100 years. Chen Ping'an looked at Yunxiao and Yunxiao on the distant sea, stunned and somewhat lost in thought. 100 years in a hurry is almost the life of an ordinary person. Thanks to the abundant spiritual energy on the Three Immortals Island and the cultivation rewards from the system, Chen Ping'an's appearance has not changed much since crossing over. And in these 100 years, Chen Ping'an has only seen Yunxiao twice. The first time was when Yunxiao rescued him from the vast ocean and brought him back to Sanxian Island. The other time was several years ago, when the three Yunxiao sisters returned from Jinao Island. Chen Ping'an had a distant glimpse. The flood and famine do not count for years. Get a full display on Sanxian Island. The three Yunxiao sisters have been in a closed state for 100 years. Naturally, there was no one to guide Chen Ping'an in his cultivation. Chen Ping'an is enjoying the leisurely time after a busy day. Suddenly, at the junction of water and sky in the distance, a hidden light rushed towards us. That escape light rushed straight towards Sanxian Island. Sleeping trough, what a big tiger. Chen Ping'an stood up in a daze, quickly tidied up his clothes, lowered his eyes and brows, and assumed the demeanor of a gatekeeper. That escape light came very quickly. In an instant, it landed on Sanxian Island. Surprisingly, he regarded the Three Immortals Island as a forbidden entity. Hiss. Chen Ping'an took a deep breath of air conditioning. Riding a black tiger and considering the Three Immortals Island as if it were nothing, shouldn't it be Zhao Gongming who came? Just why did this plague god come to Sanxian Island? It shouldn't be. That boy over there, I am Zhao Gongming from Luofu Cave in Emei Mountain. Hurry up and report to your master. Zhao Gongming jumped down from the tiger and shouted. Confirmed to be Zhao Gongming, Chen Ping'an only felt scalp tingling. Zhao Gongming and Sanxiao sisters are called brothers and sisters, but Sanxiao is on Sanxian Island and Zhao Gongming is at Luofu Cave on Mount Emei. The two sides don't have very close contacts on weekdays. Unless the heavenly sage from the Bio Palace on Jinao Island lectures, Zhao Gongming will never come to the East China Sea. Isn't this guy who was robbed of Dinghai and the dragon binding rope with the money of the lost treasure? He came to Sanxian Island to borrow the magic treasure first, right? Chen Ping'an felt very anxious in his heart. During the reign of Fengshen Liang Jie, King Zhou's Huahuang temple inscribed obscene words, which violated the taboo of saints. So there was the end of Cheng Tang's energy, and the Zhou family became prosperous. Yunxiao followed the fate and sent Jiangxia down the mountain to assist the Zhou family. Jijiao was formed because it was rumored that Taisher was in the Shang dynasty, coupled with a lobbying campaign by Shen Gongbao. Originally, it was only a dynastic change in the history of human development, but it became a struggle between the two great sages of Zhanjiao and Jijiao. When Zhong suffered consecutive defeats and invited out the 10 heavenly kings of Bailu Island. 10 heavenly kings set up 10 unparalleled formations. Zhanjiao directly dispatched the deputy leader Randang as the commander, and formed a group of relatives and friends with the 12 golden immortals of Zhanjiao to help Jiangxia break through. The 10 absolute formation was quickly broken down, including the heavenly absolute formation, earthly flame formation, wind roar formation, cold ice formation, golden light formation, and blood transformation formation. When Zhong felt anxious and went to Mount Emei to seek help from Zhao Gongming. Zhao Gongming's strength is indeed impressive. Plus, the dragon rope and sea pearl in hand are powerful spiritual treasures. In one go and two go, the fight explained to everyone that they were crying for their father and calling for their mother. Even the deputy leader of the lantern-burning Taoist was chased and fled in panic. It was not until Xiao Sheng and Qiao Bao of Mount Wui used the money to drop the dragon-binding rope and Dinghai Zhu of Zhao Gongming, and burned the lantern to attack him secretly that Zhao Gongming was defeated. Zhao Gongming's own cultivation level is on par with that of the lamp-burning Taoist. Without Dinghai Zhu and Tai Longsua, it's like being beheaded on one's left and right arms. I can only come to Sanxian Island to ask Sanxiao sisters for help. It was precisely Zhao Gongming's request that led Sanxiao, who was originally almost impossible to enter the world, to be involved in the divine tribulation. Later, Sanxiao set up a 9-bend Yellow River formation, which led to the downfall of saints. I wouldn't really be so unlucky, would I? Crossing the wilderness, it's just that the system can't be relied on. Shouldn't Yunxiao's long legs collide with the Fengshen Liang Jie before he can hold them, right? No, no, no. Chen Ping'an's thoughts circulated, but he forgot to pass them on. Until Zhao Gongming coughed. Chen Ping'an just came to his senses. Hurry to the secluded cave in Yunxiao and pull the messenger, Yunxiao Ferry, Mr. Zhao Gongming has come to Sanxian Island. Upon hearing that Zhao Gongming had arrived, Sanxiao quickly stood up to welcome him. After Zhao Gongming and Sanxiao's sisters saluted each other, Yunxiao asked, "Where are you going?" Chen Ping'an, who was originally planning to leave, suddenly slowed down and perked up his ears. Zhao Gongming let out a heavy sigh first. Then he spoke up and said, "When Zhong's expedition against Xiqi cannot win, please ask me to go down the mountain to explain to the Taoist. Originally, I won at first sight, and even the Randang Taoist was chased and beaten by me. Unexpectedly, on the way to chase the Randang Taoist, I encountered 2 unnamed cultivators, Xiao Sheng and Qiao Bao, who used some means to take away my dragon-binding rope and Dinghai Pearl." With these words, Chen Ping'an was as thunderous as the purple sky god. "What are you really afraid of?" At the time when I traveled by myself, it turned out to be the outbreak of the divine enchantment. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 003. Apprentice to Emei. Zhao Gongming is almost dead. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Fengshen Liang Jie is a measure of the vastness of heaven and earth. However, among the quantity tribulations that occurred in the history of the flood and famine, the Fengshen quantity tribulation was the most unique one. Pangu opens up heaven and earth, while dragons and phoenixes chase after fierce beasts. Dao and Emei compete for opportunities, while witches and demons restrain each other. After the end of the dragon and phoenix calamity, Dao Zhu Hongjun defeated Emei Zhu Luogui and seized the first opportunity to prove his teachings and become a saint, becoming the first sage of the heavenly way in the Honghuang era. Afterwards, Xiqiao Palace was established to spread the message of the flood and wilderness. In the wilderness, there began to be a saying that, if you don't become a saint, you will eventually become an ant. It is precisely in the face of the huge temptation of all ants under the sage that the top powerful individuals in the wilderness rack their brains to compete for the opportunity to become saints through the first line of enlightenment. The Red Cloud Taoist fell from his body because he was carrying a ray of Hongmeng purple qi. The Wu and Yao tribes fought until their forces completely disintegrated in order to compete for the fate of the wilderness. In the Witch Demon Tribulation, the 6 heavenly Tao sages, Tai Ching, Yuqing, Shangqing, Envoi, Jiayin, and Zhundi, strictly adhered to the teachings of their ancestor Hongjun and did not intervene in the affairs of the flood and famine. Even if the demon tribe slaughters the human race on a large scale in order to refine the witch-slaying sword. The Virgin Mary of the human race, Lady Nyuhua, and the leader of the human religion, the sage of Tai Ching, are both silent and speechless. In the following countless years, the sage of the heavenly way seemed to still follow the teachings of Dao Zhu Hongjun and would hardly intervene in the affairs of the flood and wilderness. However, in the process of sealing gods and measuring tribulations, Zhao Gongming borrowed the golden dragon scissor from Sanxian Island and gained instant fame. The burning lamp Taoist and the 12 golden immortals were at a loss. West Kunlun Luya Daoist stepped forward and killed Zhao Gongming with the 7 arrows curse on the Ding-Tu. Shen Gongbao sent a letter to Sanxian Island to tell Sanxiao sisters Zhao Gongming about his death in Xiqi. Yunxiao didn't want to join the world, but he Xiao and Bixiao invaded with evil spirit, and blood poured up and killed them directly. Yunxiao was afraid of their loss, so he followed them to Xiqi. This trip is a testament to the fate of the hit. The 9 curved yellow river formation rises, and the 12 golden immortals of Taoism are adorned with 3 flowers that fall to the ground. The saints of Tai Ching and Yuqing came together. Kill Sanxiao sisters with supreme power. This sets a precedent for the Heavenly Way sage to take action after the Empress Dowager of Nyuhua during the Lich Demon period. Days are like this, fate is like this. What can I do, what should I do? Chen Ping'an's hands and feet were cold, but he had no countermeasures in his heart. Leaving the mountain and entering the West Qi, his name is listed on the list of gods. Yunxiao knew about this matter, as did Xiao and Bai Xiao. Even Zhao Gongming knows. But these big shots, except for Yunxiao, all have a mentality of, the group of people who go to Xiqi to knock and explain will leave, and they don't listen to advice at all. Frankly speaking, if the clouds make a move, it will attract saints to the lower world. The Holy Spirit of the Heavenly Way entrusts with the Heavenly Way. The Heavenly Way regulates the flood and famine. Even if the flood and famine occur, the regulatory power of the Heavenly Way will decrease. But once someone mentions the names and taboos of saints, they will perceive them. The whim of the sage in the wilderness, with a pinch of his fingers, was extremely terrifying. Yunxiao saved his dog's life, but Chen Ping'an was not willing to be targeted by the Heavenly Way sage just to remind Yunxiao. System, dog system, are you there? If you know how to speak, hurry up and help out. You don't want your host to be involved in the Fengshen Liang Jie, do you? Chen Ping'an had no choice but to die and become a living horse doctor. After all, after crossing the wilderness, he only had 2 dependencies. One is the clouds, and the other is the system. Now that Yunxiao is about to be caught up in the Fengshen quantity robbery, Chen Ping'an can only seek help from the system. I hope the system can offer advice or reward some innate treasures, taking into account the fact that the sky has saved my life and the 3 Immortals Island has protected me for 100 years. However, Chen Ping'an also knows that his own system is intellectually disabled. Except for the tinkling reminder and reward for 10,000 years of cultivation, it has no other purpose. So, when the system is silent, Chen Ping'an is not surprised. After a while, Zhao Gongming left Sanxian Island in anger. Looking at Zhao Gongming, who was riding away from the tiger, Chen Ping'an suddenly slapped his thigh. Why did you forget that girl just now? Zhao Gongming sought help from Sanxian Island. Yunxiao and Bixiao were willing to lend Zhao Gongming a treasure, but Yunxiao suppressed his two sisters and advised Zhao Gongming not to lose his life for the sake of small gains. In order to recover the Longsua and Dinghaizu, he lost his life. Unable to borrow the treasure, Zhao Gongming stormed away in anger. But outside the Three Immortals Island, I met Han Jixien. Han Jixien said that he was willing to accompany Zhao Gongming to Sanxian Island again to help persuade Sanxiao sisters to change their minds. Stupid. If I were to intercept Han Jixien outside the Three Immortals Island just now. Chen Ping'an now wished his back teeth were crushed. Unfortunately, it is too late. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. The overall situation has been decided, hurry up and find a way out for yourself. Chen Ping'an knew he was powerless to turn back to the sky, so he quickly turned back to the cave where he practiced in the clouds. Immortal Talisman transmission received a response from Yunxiao, and Chen Ping'an entered to see. Ping'an, what's up? Yunxiao looked at Chen Ping'an with some surprise. After accidentally rescuing this human race, they diligently took on many miscellaneous tasks such as planting spiritual materials, raising animals and poultry, carrying water and watering pine trees on Sanxian Island. What makes Yunxiao even more difficult to describe is, this person must sweep the floor for 4 hours a day. The stone paths of Sanxian Island were all swept to the ground by Chen Ping'an. A simple sentence from Yunxiao made Chen Ping'an feel anxious. This is a renowned quasi-holy realm master. If it weren't for the last resort, Chen Ping'an really wouldn't want to take the initiative to worship any one of the three Xiaos. Yunxiao Empress, the disciple just saw the eldest master riding a tiger with a majestic demeanor and unparalleled speed, and her heart was filled with envy. That's why. Chen Ping'an lowered his head by 3 points and paused slightly. Oh. Do you want to join my brother Zhao Gongming's sect? This matter is not difficult either. It's just that it's an extraordinary time now, and the vast and desolate continent has been swept away by the Liangjie. After the Liangjie ends, I can send you to the Luofu cave in Emei mountain to pay your respects. Yunxiao said softly with a smile on his face. Chen Ping'an's expression stiffened. What the hell? Apprentice Zhao Gongming. Zhao Gongming is about to hiccup, should I learn from a dead person? Just as Chen Ping'an was about to speak up. Yunxiao senior sister. Xiao senior sister. Bixiao senior sister. Han Jixien came to visit, and I also hope that the three senior sisters will appear and meet. Outside the Three Immortals Island, there came a woman's voice with a hint of anger. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 004. Asks about the clouds and the divine elephant strength in suppressing the prison. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Han Jixien. Chen Ping'an was shocked to hear this name. Come so fast. The outbreak of Fengshen Liang robbery means that Zhao Gongming has come to Sanxian to borrow treasures, which means that the three sisters in Yunxiao are not far away from falling. I am really forced to do nothing. Chen Ping'an had to grit his head and try to pick out some water from Yunxiao's body. Regardless of whether it is a Taoist technique from the Upper Qing dynasty or 1 or 2 spiritual treasures. So that I can increase my self-protection ability after the divine enchantment. But he hasn't had a chance to speak yet. Han Jixien has actually arrived outside the Three Immortals Island. Ping'an, you wait here for now, I'll go back as soon as I go. As Yunxiao spoke, his figure disappeared in a flash. Chen Ping'an's face turned extremely ugly. After being sternly rejected by Yunxiao, Zhao Gongming left Sanxian Island in frustration, but encountered Han Jixien again, who pulled him back to Sanxian Island. Zhao Gongming didn't say a word throughout the entire process. Han Jixien is crazily rhythmic. It's me who won't fail to explain Taoism, and it's your brother and sister. If your sisters doesn't help Zhao Gongming, after Zhao Gongming takes back Dinghai Pearl with someone else's magic weapon, how will your sisters be treated by the intercepted disciples? Pass through Barabara and come down. Listen to Yunxiao and Bixiao, who were already willing to help Zhao Gongming, and persuade Yunxiao crazily. In the end, Yunxiao didn't save face for his siblings and cut ties with Zhao Gongming and Jinjiao. The result is that from then on, it has been mixed with the matter of Xiqi, contaminated with the cause and effect of quantity calamity, and the Tao's spiritual platform has lost its clarity. This Hanji Xian is really damn it. Chen Ping'an clenched his fist and pinched his nails into the flesh. Zhao Gongming lost in Xiqi. He lost Dinghai Pearl and Tai Longsuo. You Hanji Xian wanted to help Zhao Gongming go by yourself, but he kidnapped Sanxiao's sisters by force of morality with great justice and deep brotherhood and sisterhood love. Yunxiao had to borrow Jinjiao to cut them to Zhao Gongming. Fengshen Liang Jie is different from the past Honghuang Liangjie. Not limited to being Tai Yi Jin Xian, the Luo Jin Xian, or even quasi-saint. Saying falling means falling. Crisp and agile, there is no situation like during the Lich Demon Cataclysm period where two great Luo Golden Immortals can fight for hundreds of years and the quasi-Holy Realm battle starts for 1,000 years. From Dao Zhu Hongjun convening the Six Saints' Xiao Palace to discuss the measurement of calamity, to the destruction of the 10,000 Immortals formation. Before and after, it's just a matter of time. Zhao Gongming took the golden dragon and cut it off at Xiqi. At most, within a month, it would die. Then Shen Gongbao reported his funeral and left the East China Sea, while San Xiangu entered the West Qi with anger. Ding. Post-emotional excitement detected. Ding. Dragon Elephant Prajnaparamita skill has been upgraded to Divine Elephant suppresses prison power. Ding. The distribution of Divine Elephant suppresses prison power has been successful. In Chen Ping'an's mind, a mechanical prompt sound came from the system. Yunxiao quickly returned to the cave. Just when I returned, there was a noticeable worry between my eyebrows. Especially when looking at Chen Ping'an, I sighed deeply in my heart. Chen Ping'an admired Zhao Gongming for his profound teachings and wanted to worship him. Yunxiao was originally willing to recommend and facilitate this matter. But Zhao Gongming didn't listen to advice and this time he borrowed the golden dragon scissors and went away triumphantly. Although I have repeatedly reminded myself. It should be okay. Jin Jiao Jian killed and attacked the sharp edge. Although Ran Dang was one of the 3,000 guests of Xiao, he didn't have any powerful magic weapon in his hand to resist Jin Jiao Jian. Besides, Big Brother just wants to retrieve Dinghai Pearl and Tai Longsuo. As long as the burning lamp returns the treasure, Big Brother will definitely not continue to linger in Xiqi. Although Yunxiao felt uneasy in his heart, he could only constantly console himself. Ping'an, regarding your desire to learn art under my elder brother Zhao Gongming's sect. Gather your mind and bring up the unfinished words from before. What she didn't expect was, Chen Ping'an shook his head sharply and said, Yunxiao Empress, I have no intention of joining the master's sect. Yunxiao was taken aback for a moment, then frowned and said, so you are. The disciple wants to become a disciple of Empress Yunxiao and follow her to learn Taoist techniques and divine powers. Chen Ping'an's answer was decisive. Yunxiao frowned. Peace. Did you hear the conversation between my elder brother and me? Although my elder brother came to Sanxiando to fight with my sisters with magic weapons, it does not mean that my elder brother's cultivation level is weaker than mine, on the contrary. Yunxiao Empress. Chen Ping'an interrupted the explanation of the clouds with his voice. Although Chen Ping'an is not familiar with cultivation, his basic vision is still there. Perhaps the master has entered the realm of cultivation earlier than Empress Dowager, but whether it is realm cultivation or cultivation of Dao heart, he is not as good as Empress Dowager Yunxiao. Besides, I never said I wanted to join the master's sect from beginning to end. Chen Ping'an couldn't help but remain calm. Zhao Gongming has already borrowed the golden Jiaojian. In no time, he will die in Xiqi and return to the Fengshen list. And there are only a few months left until the three skies rise from the East China Sea to the mortal world. If he can't learn the Shangqing Taoism from Yunxiao within this month, then there may only be a dead end in the future. The Dragon Elephant Prajnaparamita technique has been changed to the divine elephant suppresses prison strength. But Chen Ping'an did not feel any effect of this conversion. Moreover, this is a desolate world. There are still two opinions on whether there will be a lack of adaptation to the local conditions in Shenxiang Jian. Only by learning the authentic Hongguang Taoist method can one determine the level of divine elephant Jinjian power after comparison. Oh, that's exactly what I meant by you. Yunxiao frowned slightly and said, although my doctrine of the upper pure one vein is to cut off the vitality of the heavenly Tao for all beings in the wilderness, there is no distinction between education and non-discrimination. However, my own understanding of the upper pure Tao method passed down by my master is only superficial, and I cannot achieve the same level of understanding as my master. Anyone with a heart for the Tao can enter and practice the Tao method. So before passing on your teachings, I need to first understand the techniques you are currently practicing. Of course, if it involves personal privacy, you can refuse. Personal privacy. In addition to being a traveler and carrying the system with you. Chen Ping'an does not believe that he has any other secrets to hide from the clouds. Immediately, Chen Ping'an cleared his throat and began to recite the mnemonic outline of Shenxiang Jian. Use qi to attract gods, use gods to form images, raise hands and move feet, the power of giant elephants, one body, 840 million particles. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 005. 8-9 Mysterious Skills, Looking Ahead at Pangu. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 For Chen Ping'an, Yunxiao is actually quite curious. This drowning person, who was easily brought up from the East China Sea, automatically took on the miscellaneous tasks of planting spiritual materials and feeding animals and poultry when he arrived at Sanxian Island. He also diligently cleaned the stone path of Sanxian Island every day, never slacking off for 100 years. The three Yunxiao sisters tried to spread the roots of Chen Ping'an. The result was nothing. The sky is chaotic, and before my eyes is a vast expanse of white. On the contrary, in the dark, the clouds seem to capture a hint of extreme weakness. Chen Ping'an and Sanxian Island are destined. The Three Immortals Island is a place where the three sisters in the sky found a place of practice by accident. Adjacent to Yunxiao Island, born unnamed. Later, the sisters of Sanxiao came to the fore in the interception of education. Some good people called their island of practice Sanxian Island, which means the island where the three fairies live. Over time, Sanxian Island became the title of this unnamed island. Yunxiao did not tell her two sisters about her vague perception. Because of this news, it's a bit scary. Many caves and blessed places in the wilderness have long been predetermined. For example, the ancestral land of human education, Shouyang Mountain, and the ancestral land of Jijiao, Yunxiao Island, were not well known and ordinary before the saints of Taiqing and Shangqing had moved from Kunlun Mountain. During this period, there were certainly factors such as saints suppressing the flood and bringing prosperity to the heavens. However, there are also Shouyang Mountain and Yunxiao Island, which are already in line with the fate of human religion and Taoism, and were chosen by the sages. For example, Guangqingzi's Taoyuan Cave in Jiuxian Mountain. The Xuanyuan Mountain Golden Light Cave of Taizhenren and the Luojia Cave of Putua Mountain of Cihang Daoren, a little bit of heaven and earth, with its own destiny in destiny. Is Chen Ping'an destined to be on Sanxian Island? Isn't that to say that these Three Immortals Island should belong to Chen Ping'an's dojo? But the Three Immortals Island is Chen Ping's Taoist temple, where should the three sisters go? This question, after much contemplation, cannot be answered. Simply put it aside. Chen Ping'an is the same. The flood and famine last for countless years, coupled with the outbreak of the heavenly and heavenly calamity. Yunxiao plans to study this matter after the end of this round of the heavenly and heavenly realm. However, since Chen Ping'an personally brought him to his door, Yunxiao didn't mind slightly probing to see if he could find any clues from Chen Ping'an's cultivation. Using qi to attract the divine, using the divine to form an image, using every move and gesture to unleash the power of a giant elephant. A person's body contains 840 million tiny particles. As soon as Chen Ping'an spoke, Yunxiao frowned fiercely. To form an image with God. The power of a giant elephant. Is there a fate between Chen Ping'an and Liangjie? Liangjie is one of the 7 accompanying immortals on the side of the head of the Tongtian sect, and its body is a yellow-toothed old elephant. Chen Ping'an actually practiced the Taoist method of using divine condensation. After the end of this calamity, it may be helpful to recommend the spirit tooth immortal to him, as it may be of great benefit to Chen Ping'an's cultivation. But soon, Yunxiao was stunned. Is the human body composed of 840 million particles? Awakening all 840 million tiny particles around the body and transforming them into divine images. What kind of ox and horse technique is this? The more Yunxiao listens, the more he feels something is wrong. After transforming the 840 million particles around the body into divine images, we continue to create 840 million particles on each divine image based on the 840 million particles. This cycle is endless. Stop and stop. You don't need to continue reciting. Yunxiao stopped Chen Ping'an from continuing to recite. The divine elephant suppresses the power of prison. The content of this cultivation method is completely different from the popular Xianmen Taoist method in the current era. Even with Yunxiao's knowledge, he had never heard of such a practice method in the wilderness. Unfortunately, the explanation in this cultivation method seems to be very reasonable. Moreover, judging from the fluency of Chen Ping'an's recitation, it is evident that this set of techniques has already formed a complete system. Ping'an, what is the name of the technique you are practicing? Yunxiao frowned and asked. The divine elephant is restraining the prison. Chen Ping'an answered honestly. Strength. So, does your martial art follow the path of quenching body and refining strength? The clouds frowned frequently. There used to be a tribe in the wilderness who followed the path of quenching their bodies and refining their strength. Moreover, the strongest among that ethnic group once shone brightly in the wilderness, and the strength of their realm made countless cultivators dare not look directly at them. And that ethnic group is the witch tribe. Inheriting the bloodline of Pangu, only quenching the body, not cultivating the spirit. Maybe. Probably. Yes. Chen Ping'an replied with some uncertainty. The divine elephant suppresses prison strength is a technique practiced by Liangjie. Essentially, it is indeed a method of refining power. I may not be able to help you much. Yunxiao glanced at Chen Ping'an with a strange expression and said, whether it's Shangqing Daofa, or Yuqing Daofa, or Taiqing Daofa, they are all based on spiritual power, opening up the Qi purple mansion, condensing the 5 Qi in the chest, practicing the top 3 flowers, then beheading the good and evil corpses, and then using innate spiritual treasures or innate spiritual materials to entrust the ID, reaching the realm of beheading the 3 corpses, seeking a first line of heavenly secrets, and proving the mixed nature of the Tao. The technique you practice contradicts the mainstream of the current Honghuang Tao method. After much thought, perhaps only this cultivation method can give you some enlightenment. As he spoke, he grabbed the void in the sky. I have an extra jade slip in my hand. This method is called 89 Xian Gong. It was created by my master, a sage from the Upper Qing dynasty, and 2 master uncles during a casual discussion on the Tao. They inherited some of the Taoist traditions of Pangu from their respective primordial gods and combined them with the teachings of the Taoist ancestor of Xiao Palace. It can't be considered a mysterious and unparalleled Taoist technique. But it also wins in its roots and origins, with the intention of inheriting a lofty legacy. Of course, the most important thing is that he can barely be considered a method of quenching body and refining strength. In an instant, Chen Ping'an looked at the jade slip with a fiery gaze. The 8-9 mysterious arts. The 9 transformations Xian Gong, which was transformed from the cultivation of the Pangu great god. It is a residual technique of Pangu's cultivation technique, which was created by the combination of Sanqing and his own primordial gods, and after consulting with Daozu Hongjun. It is definitely incomparable to the original version of Zhouzhuan Xian Gong. But it is still a powerful and extremely difficult technique to cultivate. There are many people in the hands of the great masters of the wilderness who hold the 8-9 mysterious arts, but only 3 of them are able to start practicing and achieve success, as far as Chen Ping'an knows. Erlang Shenyang Jian, Yuan Hong, and the stone monkey Baimoan who carries the burden of the journey to the west. Even better, both the Dragon Elephant Prajnaparamita technique and the later upgraded Divine Elephant Prison power practiced by Chen Ping'an are power cultivation methods for quenching body energy. A cultivation of 3,600 million years, even if blown out of a balloon. That's also 3,600 million years of cultivation. With these 3,600 million years of cultivation as the foundation, I dare not say that half the effort is twice the result, but it will definitely not be like drawing water from a bamboo basket. Chen Ping'an excitedly took the jade slip. Just about to say goodbye, supported by a gentle force. Peace, this method was created by the joint efforts of the master and 2 masters. It was once said that all people in the Shen men can practice it. So for now, we can refer to each other as Dao friends. After the end of this calamity, you can come with me to the Bio Palace on Jinao Island to pay respects to the Saint Jie. Perhaps there is a path you need to find and take with your master. Speaking, Yunxiao threw another gourd to Chen Ping'an. Here are some pills given by my master in the early years, as well as a few spiritual pills given to me by Master Bo Tai Ching, and some pills that I have nothing to do to refine myself. You can take them while practicing, which will help you improve your cultivation progress. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 006. Shen Gongbao. Dao friends, please stay behind. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 6 Chen Ping'an's joyful departure. On the contrary, the sky's expression gradually became solemn. Does the divine elephant hold the power of prison? Why is Chen Ping'an's cultivation technique so unique? Consider oneself as composed of 840 million tiny particles, each particle exercising the power of the divine image, and then based on the statue composed of 840 million tiny particles, continue to differentiate each particle into 840 million tiny particles. Cycle by cycle, endless. Throughout the vast expanse, there is only an analogy between the method practiced by the ancient ancestor of the Styx River and this technique. However, according to legend, the underworld blood sea was transformed by a pool of dirty blood that fell into the wilderness during the creation of Pangu, the great god of the underworld. The ancestors of the underworld river nurtured it, so they trained 480 million blood god son clones based on the origin of the underworld blood sea. One of the main body spirits can freely descend and occupy the land of the underworld blood sea, making it difficult for even saints to suppress it. And the ancestral power of the Styx River, tracing back to its origin, may also be related to the great god Pangu, who cannot escape. Chen Ping'an, where did you learn the power of the divine elephant to control the prison from? At this moment, Chen Ping'an can be described with 4 words. Satisfaction. The hair-picking system, where can there be a reliable source from the clouds? Chen Ping'an was slandering his own system. Flipping the jade slips engraved with the 8-9 mysterious arts back and forth, looking left and right, I was overjoyed. The 8-9 mysterious arts, this is not a bad street technique. Although Yunxiao said that all members of the Xianmen sect in this 8-9 Xiangong can learn it. But there are not many people who truly master the 8-9 mysterious arts in the wilderness. According to Chen Ping'an's speculation, all 6 saints of the heavenly way should have the 8 or 9 Xiangong in their hands, followed by the great master of the people's sect, the southern immortal master, cloud neutron master, and the 12 golden immortals of the sect, as well as the 4 great biographies of the inner sect and the outer sect Yunxiao and Yuanhong. The most important thing is that the source of this martial art is the great god Pangu. Whether it's Sanqing or Daozu Hongjun, they are all striving to approach Pangu's direction when repairing this 8-9 mysterious arts. There is a fundamental difference between the current prevalence of mystical cultivation methods in the vast continent. After all, after Hongjun became a saint through preaching, Xiao Palace gave 3 teachings, and in addition, countless powerful beings with innate demonic roots fell from the Lich demon realm. The Honghuang Taoism has become increasingly unified. Of course, for Chen Ping'an, no matter what kind of cultivation method, as long as it is a cultivation method that has been passed down in the vast land, it is open to all who come. Obtaining the 8-9 mysterious skills was a complete surprise. Now with the cultivation method and the elixir gifted by the clouds, Chen Ping'an is full of anticipation in the long years after the calamity of the divine power. Anyway, Sanxian Island has a quasi-holy level prohibition barrier. After the calamity of Fengshen Liang, Sanqing collectively ate the meteorous holy pill. The sage of Nuwa hides in the palace of Nuwa, while the 2 western saints squat in the pure land of bliss. In addition, there is also a disciple from the inner sect of the Jijiao sect who has become a fish in the net in the 10,000 Immortals formation, who is not a holy mother, on the neighboring Jinao Island. Perhaps after becoming a deity, there were countless eyes spying and monitoring Jinao Island. But no one dares to easily cause trouble in the waters near Jinao Island. So, with the protection of Sanxian Island, as long as Chen Ping'an does not leave the island, he will be safe for a long time after the Fengshen Liang robbery. Let's just indulge once today. Starting tomorrow, I will begin to specialize in studying the 8-9 mysterious arts and the divine elephant suppresses the prison power. Chen Ping'an secretly clenched his fist. The next day, Chen Ping'an started sweeping the floor early in the morning. After scanning for 8 hours, the sound of system rewards came to mind. Chen Ping'an only found a cave and began to study the 8-9 Xiangong and the divine elephant suppresses the prison power with great concentration. Sure enough, referring to each other, Chen Ping'an discovered many similarities. According to divine elephant suppressing prison power and combined with 8-9 Xiangong, Chen Ping'an spent just half a month comprehending and mastering many techniques in divine elephant suppressing prison power. The oven in this world is a bit similar to the Tai Shang Lao Jun Bagua furnace for refining monkeys. The Lord's body absorbs the opponent's power and turns it into its own. How does it feel like the northern underworld divine skill of the Xiaoyao sect, and what is the difference between this Lord's eye and Yang Jian's third eye? Eternal heavenly song. This good thing can add buffs to allies. Life and death disillusionment thunder method. God thunder can change everything the caster thinks, but it seems that I can only change Lanzhou Lamian noodles and Shaxian snacks, which is useless. Suddenly, over the moon. Chen Ping'an is addicted to cultivation and cannot extricate himself. Except for the daily routine of sweeping the floor, almost all the time is devoted to cultivation. The cultivation progress of the 8-9 mysterious arts is average, but on the contrary, the divine elephant suppresses the prison power, with the blessing of 360 million years of cultivation, focuses on studying, and the progress is exceptionally fast. The changes in the 20.2 power methods recorded inside have been basically mastered. Just the effect is not satisfactory. I can't even achieve what is boasted about in the divine elephant suppresses prison power, such as flipping the river and the sea, roaring down the stars, picking the moon and swallowing the sun. Among the changes in the 20.2 power methods, only the heaven and earth oven has the greatest use. Chen Ping'an has used the heaven and earth oven to refine a pill. However, it is estimated that the elixir was refined from relatively inexpensive spiritual plants without much leisure in the sky, and the effect of the pill is not very obvious. Divine Elephant suppresses prison strength, remained unmoved, while 8-9 mysterious skills was slightly moved. During Chen Ping'an's journey to the west, Bai Mawen boasted wildly about peaches and immortal wine, and even treated the pills in the palace led by the Supreme Lord Do as sugar beans. He also used the 8 trigrams alchemy furnace to elevate his cultivation to the later stage of the Tai Golden Immortal Realm. Han Tao is one of the top 10 innate spiritual roots. Tai Shang Lao Jun is also a permanent Dharma body of the Tai Ching sage in the heavenly court. Among the gourd pills given by Yunxiao, only a very small number were refined by saints. The food that Sun Monkey and Sun Monkey ate while licking their buns in Tianting cannot be compared in terms of quality or quantity. There is no sun or moon in the mountains. On this day, Chen Ping'an was completing the sweeping task as usual. Suddenly, a hidden light rushed towards the sea. Stopped outside Sanxian Island in an instant. He is a beautiful old Taoist riding a black panther. Is there anyone inside? Jie Jiao Shen Gongbao came to visit the 3 senior sisters. The old Taoist jumped off the black panther and shouted loudly. As Chen Ping'an listened to the old Taoist announcing his family's door, he couldn't help but shudder. Shen Gongbao. This is the first plague god in the realm of Fengshen Liang Jie. A sentence like, "Please stay, Taoist friends," is like a Yama king's command, shouting who will die. At its root, it is still Shen Gongbao who has the cause and effect of the heavenly way. So it's good that this person is missing. Just as Chen Ping'an was preparing to take a break, Taoist friends, please stay. That fellow Taoist with a broom, please stay. The sound of Shen Gongbao, like the purple sky thunder, exploded in Chen Ping'an's ears. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 007. Cloud goes to Xiqi, a new chapter in the system. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 7, That fellow Taoist with a broom, please stay. The words of Shen Gongbao echoed through the island protection restrictions of Sanxian Island, like the purple sky thunder, echoing in Chen Ping'an's ears. Chen Ping'an was instantly stunned. I'm really afraid of what to do. In the process of Fengshen Liang Jie, Shen Gongbao's sentence, "Dao friend, please stay," can be described as shouting who will die. Every intercepting disciple who was pulled by Shen Gongbao to assist in the formation of Xiqi, from you being scattered with courage to Daoyuo Jingxian, none of them could fully retreat. Chen Ping'an originally wanted to avoid this plague god. Let Yunxiao's sisters handle it by herself. But Chen Ping'an really didn't expect that Shen Gongbao's sentence, "Dao friend, please stay," would fall on his head. Shen Gongbao. Are you the Kunlun sect member who switched to teaching in the past few years? Chen Ping'an turned around with stiff limbs and spoke in silence. Shen Gongbao was originally practicing in Kunlun Mountain, and after listening to the teachings of the Jade Void Palace, he could barely be considered a named disciple under the Yuanshi Heavenly Lord's seat. Fengshen Liang was robbed, and Jiang Zia was ordered to descend from the mountains to become the heavenly sovereign of the Yuan dynasty. Shen Gongbao is very unhappy. If the matter of becoming a deity was handled by the Antarctic Immortal, Cloud Neutron, or the 12 Golden Immortals, he wouldn't have any objections. However, the Heavenly Emperor Yuanshi surprisingly placed such an important importance on the matter of enfeoffment. Give Jiang Zia a ground beetle who has practiced Buddhism in Kunlun Mountain for only 40 years. Why? Shen Gongbao, who couldn't understand, went to the Yushu Palace to inquire and was slapped away by the Yuanshi Heavenly Lord. He even said, "This is fate." Shen Gongbao couldn't swallow his tone of not being as good as Jiangzia's. So he left Kunlun Mountain in anger and proclaimed himself as a disciple of Zhejiao. He traveled to the 3 mountains and 5 peaks, ran to rivers, lakes, and seas, formed factions, and constantly sought out Zhejiao disciples to enter Xiqi to stop Jiangzia. There is always a gap between interception and elucidation. Most of the disciples of Zhejiao cannot bear to be said that Zhejiao is better than elucidation. In addition, the amount of calamity and evil energy are pervasive. This has resulted in no one being spared as long as a disciple who was pulled to Xiqi by Shen Gongbao with a Taoist friend, please stay behind. Little child, hurry up and report to the 3 empresses in your family. Just say that I came here for Zhao Gongming's friendship. Shen Gongbao's face was slightly displeased, but he still spoke up to explain his purpose. He can't listen the most, others say he's from Kunlun sect. The servant from the 3 Immortals Island immediately poked a knife at his wound. I have to scold this servant in front of Sanxiao when I turn around. No big or small. Wait for Chen Ping'an to say something more. The ban on the 3 Immortals Island was lifted, and a soft voice came from the sky. Xin Daoyu, please come in. Upon seeing this, Chen Ping'an's eyes darkened. It has been 2 months since Zhao Gongming borrowed the golden Jiaojian. Calculating the time, Zhao Gongming should have died under the Dingtu 7 Arrows book of Lu Yidao. So Shen Gongbao came to Sanxian Island to report his funeral. Upon hearing the news of Zhao Gongming's death, Xiao and Yunxiao were furious and immediately set off for Xiqi to avenge their elder brother Zhao Gongming. Although Yunxiao fears the power of measuring calamity, he is also worried about his 2 younger sisters. Finally, I went to Xiqi with Yunxiao and Xiao. Once we go, there is no turning back. However, this is ultimately due to the operation of the heavenly way in the wilderness and the fate. Even if Chen Ping'an knew the result, he was powerless to turn the tide. Obstruction days. He is a wanderer who is already a supernatural being, and he is always cautious while living on the 3 Immortals Island. For the sake of the sky, directly exposing one's own hard destiny. No matter how you look at it, it's not cost-effective. Moreover, the sisters of Sanxiao are only on the list of gods, and they are not extinct. If I can master the sun, the moon and the stars in my hands, and have Pangu's great power to create the world, it will not be difficult to save Yunxiao's sisters from the list of gods. As expected by Chen Ping'an, Shen Gongbao was invited into the island in just a moment. Just as Xiao angrily shouted, "Big sister, you are too ruthless. Big brother's fate has fallen on Xiqi, but you are concerned about measuring your life and unwilling to seek revenge for your brother. If you don't want to go, my sister and I will go. What's the point of having my name Xiao on the list of deities? I must go to Xiqi to see off my elder brother for the final journey, to see him for the last time, and not waste my lifelong brotherly love." In the sound of words, 2 escape lights rose straight into the sky and headed west. Shen Gongbao also followed closely behind. It's a little while again. Yunxiao flashed up beside Chen Ping'an. "Ping'an, I'm going to Xiqi. If it's less than a month, if it's more than half a year, I will return. These days, you need to take good care of the spiritual plants, beasts, and birds on the 3 Immortals Island. In addition, the 3 Immortals Island has a dust-dispelling array, so you don't need to diligently sweep it every day, which delays cultivation and may not be beautiful." It also reminded Chen Ping'an of some cultivation precautions. The clouds turned into a rainbow and also headed west. On this day, Chen Ping'an broke his habit of sweeping the floor for nearly a century every day for 8 hours. I also did not study the 8-9 mysterious arts and the divine elephant suppressing the prison power. But instead, he stared foolishly at the sky above Sanxian Island, looking towards the west where the clouds and light had disappeared. "I'm gone, everyone's gone. From now on. For countless years, he will be the only one on Sanxian Island." The gentle fairy who salvaged himself from the boundless ocean and brought him to Sanxian Island, told him that if there was nowhere to go, she would treat him as a married fairy and go to Xiqi to die. Even though she knows the power of measuring calamity. Even if she fears the danger of Xiqi. But she probably wouldn't have thought of it no matter what, her fate turned out to be the heavenly way sage standing on the peak of the wilderness. In the cave of the clouds. Chen Ping'an easily found dozens of jars of immortal wine. The golden crow hides, and the jade rabbit hangs in the air. Chen Ping'an stood at the highest peak of Sanxian Island, gazing far into the west, but even though he exerted his dominant body and operated his dominant eye, he still could not fully face the vast ocean in front of him. Naturally, there is no way to see what is happening in Xiqi. Those who abandon me cannot stay on yesterday's day. Those who disturb my heart are full of worries today. That night, Chen Ping'an drank all the immortal wine that had been hidden in the sky for countless years. When the light of the sun shines on Sanxian Island, Chen Ping'an has returned to normal and continues his day of sweeping and practicing. Suddenly for several days. On this day, as usual, Chen Ping'an completed the 8-hour sweeping task on Sanxian Island as stipulated by the system, but no familiar system prompt sound came to his mind. Is the system broken? Just as Chen Ping'an was confused and doubtful, a loud voice suddenly exploded in my mind. Congratulations to the host, completing the century-long sweeping task of Sanxian Island and successfully opening a new chapter in the system. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 008. Pangu Kai Tian, 9 Transformations of Xuanyuan Gong. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Chapter 8. A sudden and unusual sound, like Huangzhong and Delu. Chen Ping'an's mind was buzzing with excitement. Even for a moment of panic, he looked up in shock and looked around. Especially the boundless sky above my head. Fortunately, everything is normal. There is neither the manifestation of heavenly sages or the descent of heavenly power. I'm scared to death, Dad. Chen Ping'an breathed a sigh of relief when he realized that his identity and system as a passerby had not been exposed. At this point, he also savored the system's reminders. Accumulated for 100 years. That is to say, aside from the days when I just crossed over and received rewards from the exploratory system, as well as the day when Shen Gongbao came to Sanxian Island, as of today, the days of sweeping the floor on Sanxian Island have just accumulated over 100 years. In front of Chen Ping'an, a deep blue interface appeared. There is only one line of prompts above. May I ask if the host has opened a new chapter in the system? Yes/no. There is no other information besides this. Without any hesitation, Chen Ping'an reached out and clicked on the Yes option. Next moment, Chen Ping'an's perspective has been sharply elevated. Sanxian Island, East China Sea. In an instant, the entire vast and desolate continent was captured, followed by 33 days, the Purple Sky Palace. 33 days away. Infinite earth winds, water, and fire run around in disorder. The terrifying forces collide with each other, forming one terrifying chaotic rift after another. Black and rugged, I don't know where to go. Is this the boundless chaotic sea that envelopes the world of chaos? Chen Ping'an's current state is very delicate. It seems that every moment, every breath, my mind will be filled with endless insights into the Tao. But these insights are like a mirror to him. Unable to comprehend, unable to articulate. I don't know how long this subtle state has passed. In Chen Ping'an's sight, a towering giant suddenly appeared. The giant hung his head on a jade dish, stepped on a chaotic green lotus, held a sharp axe, and without warning, swung towards a certain part of the chaotic sea around him. Click, the chaotic sea, which contains infinite crises and strong anomalies, has been split into a crack. In the crack, it is not pitch black, but there is light shining through. The giant raised his sharp axe again. Without waiting for his axe to strike, a group of creatures emerged from somewhere, roaring and swarming to kill. Leading the way was a huge monkey. Just that monkey charges fast and dies fast. The giant just flashed the axe in his hand. The monkey, which was emitting a dark and demonic aura, was beheaded. But the death of apes and monkeys did not deter other creatures rushing in from behind. This is an extremely shocking battle. A large number of creatures rushed in one after another, while giants held sharp axes and never retreated. At the end of the battle, the chaotic green lotus under the giant's feet became illusory, and the creation jade plate above his head also scattered into countless fragments. The giant also bears numerous scars on his body. Among those scars, there are countless laws intertwined, constantly tearing apart the wound. Even with Chen Ping'an's faint vision, it can be seen that the giant at this time is already at the end of the crossbow and must seek a place to heal his wounds. However, he did not escape into the depths of the chaotic sea. But instead, he raised his axe again. Slashed towards the crack emitting light in the distance. One axe. One axe. Another axe. With each blow, the crack in the chaotic sea widens. Correspondingly, the injuries on the giant's body are also more severe. I don't know how many axes have been chopped. When the giant chopped down with another axe, he struck countless enemies in his hand. The unstoppable and disadvantageous axe suddenly disintegrated, transforming into 3 streams of light and sinking into the cracks. Humph! The giant let out a cold snort. 3 faint virtual shadows differentiated from his body and quickly chased towards the cracks. Without weapons, the giant did not give up. But step by step, it turned out that both hands were supporting the crack that had been cut open. A mysterious and inexplicable aura emerged from the giant. The strong energy flows throughout the body, and the blood vessels are surging. At this moment, everything was clearly and incomparably presented before Chen Ping'an's eyes. This is Zhouzhuan Xiangong. Chen Ping'an felt very shocked. He didn't know why he saw this scene. But without a doubt, that giant man is the great shore that opened up the vast world. Pangu. Time has no meaning at this time. Pangu urged the 9 transformations Xiangong, and the laws of the great Tao swirled around his body, constantly expanding his already mighty and boundless body. Surprisingly, relying solely on one's own strength to resist the rules of the chaotic sea. Time has completely lost its meaning at this time. I don't know how long it has been. The laws of the Tao that lingered around Pangu began to dissipate. The chaotic sea rules flickering in the cracks of the chaotic sea have quietly faded away. Is it done? Pangu, with his towering body, opened his eyes. A hint of fatigue flashed through his eyes like a chaotic star. At some point, a faint mist began to envelop the cracks opened by Pangu. And Pangu's huge body gradually faded away. Hiss. The feeling of billions of needles piercing at the same time in Chen Ping'an's mind made him unable to resist holding his head and gasping for air. It took a long time for it to gradually ease. A new chapter in the system. Why do I see the scene of Pangu opening the sky when I open a new chapter in the system? Moreover, I not only saw Pangu open the sky, but also observed the entire process of Pangu's cultivation of the 9 turning Xiangong with unparalleled clarity from the sidelines. Is it because I have the 8-9 Xiangong in my hand? Chen Ping'an was pondering hard, but couldn't get to the point. Unfortunately, the system fell silent again after making its own choices. Even after completing today's sweeping task, there was no reward for 10,000 years of cultivation. With the foundation of the 8-9 mysterious arts. Chen Ping'an's observation of the 9 transformations of Xiangong has evidence to rely on. However, after a simple comparison, Chen Ping'an realized that the 9 transformations Xiangong he saw may not be complete. The Pangu in the opening scene did indeed inspire the 9 transformations Xiangong. But the full name of Zhouzhuan Xian Gong should be called Zhouzhuan Xuanyuan Gong. It is a combination of the 9 transformations Xian Gong, a method of refining power, and the 9 transformations Yuan Gong, a method of exercising the spiritual essence. The two complement each other and coexist as one. Chen Ping'an carefully recalled several times the opening scene he had seen. Finally discovered the problem. In the picture, Pangu once had 3 imaginary shadows on his body, chasing after the Pangu axe that had shattered into a crack. So, only half of the 9 transformations Xuanyuan Gong I saw. The 3 virtual shadows that have diverged should be the primordial gods condensed from Pangu's practice of 9 transformations of the Yuan Gong. Moreover, Pangu divided the 9 transformations of the Xuanyuan Gong into 2, with the main body and shell practicing 9 transformations of the Yuan Gong, and the primordial gods practicing 9 transformations of the Yuan Gong. Surprisingly, it's like this. Chen Ping'an frowned. The saying of 1 qi, 3 qing has been circulating throughout the flood and wilderness. Sanxian also boasts the orthodoxy of Pangu. Now it seems that Sanxian was indeed derived from the differentiation of Pangu Yuanshan. However, Sanxian inherited the martial arts from Pangu Yuanshan, and both 9 transformations Xian Gong and 9 transformations Yuan Gong were only half of them. Therefore, with the joint efforts of Sanxian and the help of Daozu Hongjun, they could only produce a unique half-tone 8-9 transformations Xian Gong. It seems that finding a way to obtain the Sanxian technique is necessary to complete the 9 transformations Xuanyuan technique. And in this new chapter of the system, it should be possible to trace the origin of the cultivation methods based on the obtained ones. This also means that in the entire wilderness, no matter who it is, as long as I obtain the cultivation methods they cultivate, I can use the system to remove their bitter forks. Chen Ping'an's eyes became clear and bright. At the same time, a crazy and bold idea sprouted in Chen Ping'an's heart. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 009. Measuring the Evil Qi of Calamity. 3 Xiao captures land pressure. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 9 Sanqing is divided into Taiqing, Yuqing, and Shangqing. The corresponding ones are Shouyang Mountain, Kunlun Mountain, and Jinao Island. According to Chen Ping'an's knowledge, there is only one Grand Master of Xuandu in the Taiqing lineage. Although there are not many disciples of the Yuqing lineage, there are actually quite a few. It's needless to say that there is only one clear pulse. Every time the leader of the Tongtian sect preaches at the Bio Palace on Jinao Island, his disciples are all in a vast area, known as the 10,000 Immortals coming to the court. The Taoism of the Taiqing lineage should be the most difficult. Shen Gongbao should know some of the Taoist techniques of the Yuqing lineage. You can directly find Empress Yunxiao for the Taoist techniques of the Shangqing lineage. So, in the end, I have to leave Sanxian Island and go to Xiqi. When Chen Ping'an made up his mind, he suddenly felt that he didn't have the fear of Fengshen Liang Jie. Even, there is an inexplicable excitement. Blood boils with excitement. Due to traveling alone and not receiving any rewards from the system, Chen Ping'an didn't need to pack his things. He picked up his broom and immediately set off for Xiqi. In The Divine Elephant Suppresses Prison Strength, there is a record of the method of flying. Come on, try devil's wings first. Chen Ping'an utilized his spiritual power within his body and transformed into a pair of wings behind him. Wings flicker, and in an instant, it is a distance of thousands of miles. Turns out, the divine elephant in prison is not too bad either. Even if it's not as good as the local Taoist methods in the wilderness, as long as we don't touch the mold of the West and the heavenly court after the calamity of the divine power, it's not a problem to rely on this divine image to control the prison and occupy a mountain in the mortal world as a king and ancestor. Chen Ping'an nodded in satisfaction. As for 9 transformations of Xuanyuan Gong, let alone the difficulty of collecting all the 3 pure Taoist methods. Even with the complete 9 transformations Xuanyuan Gong in his hand, Chen Ping'an does not feel that he can achieve success in cultivation in a short period of time. The flood and famine do not count for years. The journey from the creation of heaven and earth to the emergence of form in Sanxian took an extremely long time. Later, under the guidance of the founder of Taoism, Hongjun, the Tao became a saint. However, even so, a large part of the merit that is relied upon for achieving enlightenment and becoming a saint comes from the founding merit of Pangu Yuanshan. It can be inferred that the years of Pangu's cultivation will only be even longer. Pangu is an innate chaos demon god, beloved by the Great Way. Chen Ping'an doesn't feel qualified to match the roots of Pangu. So the time required to cultivate the 9 transformations Xuanyuan's skill will only be even longer. In the endless years to come, if the system no longer rewards other advanced Taoist techniques, then the foundation of one's own cultivation will inevitably be 9 transformations Xuanyuan Gong as the main skill, with divine elephant suppressing prison force as a supplement. In addition, 9 transformations of Xuanyuan Gong involves Pangu. Before De Cheng, Chen Ping'an was not prepared to let it come to life in the wilderness. There's no need to try angel wings anymore. Let me see what the effect of wings of freedom is. Chen Ping'an operated the true yuan and quickly condensed a pair of dreamlike wings behind him, following the method recorded in The Divine Elephant Suppresses the Prison Power. The moment when the wings of freedom condense, Chen Ping'an felt a clear current surging across the sea of consciousness. The sky and earth before him became clear, and he could even vaguely see some dark red things escaping from his body and disappearing into the space between heaven and earth. This feeling only lasted for a few breaths. What did I see just now? Measure the evil energy of Calamity. Chen Ping'an's galloping figure suddenly stopped. He began to reflect on why he came out of Sanxian Island. Especially when I decided to leave the 3 Immortals Island, there was a feeling of relief in my heart as if my thoughts were fully understood. There is even an eager excitement. Could it be that at that time, I had already been invaded by the evil energy of Liangjie? The heavenly way of the flood and wilderness should not be underestimated. Chen Ping'an felt a wave of fear at this moment. It was also thanks to the free wings recorded in The Divine Elephant Suppresses Prison Power, that he unleashed a great sense of freedom and was not bound by the mortal world, which forced him to break free from the influence of the Liangjie evil energy. Of course, there is a more important reason behind it. It should be oneself belonging to the traveler. It is an anomaly of the heavenly way. In addition, after crossing the wilderness, I have been on Sanxian Island for 100 years, and my entanglement with the clouds is not deep. Perhaps it was Empress Yunxiao who accidentally saved me once again. Tell me the 8-9 mysterious skills, but they do not list me as a member of the Shangqing sect, nor do they accept disciples. The causal relationship between them is not as significant. Otherwise, if I really join the Zhijiao sect, I'm afraid I'll be influenced more than just by the Liangjie Xiqi. I estimate that this wing of freedom will always be carried on my back. The world of the wilderness, West Qi. The 3 Yunxiao sisters arrived in Xiqi together with Hanji Immortal and Kaiyun Immortal. Upon seeing the 5 fairies, Grand Tutor Wen hurriedly handed Zhao Gongming's Taoist robe and golden dragon scissors to Yunxiao. During this period, Grand Tutor Wen gave a detailed account of Zhao Gongming's experiences in Xiqi. Yunxiao sighed endlessly as she listened. Xiao and Bixiao, however, turned red and became nameless in flames. Master Wen, where is my brother's coffin? Bixiao gritted his teeth and gritted his teeth. Master Wen replied, I am still in the camp and have not been sent to Mount Emei yet. Excuse me, Grand Tutor Wen is leading the way. Xiao's eyes were filled with tears, and her eyes were red and swollen. Yunxiao quickly took a half-step diagonally and reached out to stop the 2 younger sisters, saying, Brother has been put into the coffin, why bother looking again? Bixiao collided directly with her. Big sister, we're all here. Let's see what's going on, big brother. Xiao followed closely behind. Hanji Xian and Caiyun Xian also crossed the clouds and followed Wenzhong. The elder brother died of misfortune, and Jin Zhaojian has also been taken back. The cause between our three sisters and Xiqi has already happened. When the two sisters see the elder brother's remains later, they must be more angry, and they must have to fight with Kunlun sect people. I'm afraid that this trip to Xiqi will lead to many changes. Although Yunxiao knew that visiting Zhao Gongming would make the two sisters even more sad and angry. But now that the matter has come to an end, if she doesn't go, San Xiao, Hanji Xian, and Caiyun Xian arrived at the rear camp together. I saw Zhao Gongming in the coffin. Although he had already passed away, his eyes were full of blood, and there was still blood flowing out of his heart. Jiang Shang, my child, I will stand firm with you. Upon seeing the tragic death of Zhao Gongming, Bai Zhao's hateful apricot eyes glared angrily. Kill Jiang Shang, slaughter Kunlun disciples. The enmity between brothers is irreconcilable. Xiao also clenched his fists and gritted his silver teeth. Han Jixin didn't speak, but at this moment, her eyes were also filled with tears, filled with evil intent. The Caiyun immortal remained silent, with a delicate and cold face. After observing the crowd for a long time, Yunxiao slowly spoke up and said, Big brother's death has nothing to do with Jiang Shang and the Kunlun disciples. There is a head of injustice and a debt to the master. This matter was done by the Taoist Luya, so we brought this Taoist and shot him a few arrows to avenge our brother. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 010. Golden Crow transforms rainbow, and Yua's fallen sun. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Although Lu Yadao has strong strength, his roots are profound. However, the Xuanyuan golden fight in the hands of the sisters of Shangsanxiu is still not enough. I was taken down by Yunxiao after only a few encounters. At this moment, Chen Ping'an arrived at Xiqi smoothly. Master 1, there is a scattered cultivator outside the camp who calls himself Yangqi and says he wants to see Empress Yunxiao for something. Listening to the report from the people below, Wenzhong quickly conveyed it to Yunxiao. Who is Yangqi? Yunxiao's heart was secretly puzzled. There are countless disciples to be taught, even she may not fully recognize them. However, if you want to find yourself, theoretically it should be to go to Sanxian Island and run to Qingtang camp to find yourself. Divine consciousness was released, and in an instant, the clouds saw Chen Ping'an outside the camp. Just for some unknown reason, Chen Ping'an had a pair of dreamy wings behind him. Between the flapping of those wings, there were waves of mystical thoughts circulating, ethereal and carefree. Give the sky a sense of familiarity. Why don't you stay on Sanxian Island and come to Xiqi? Yunxiao frowned and looked at Chen Ping'an, then whispered a question. The quantity of calamity rises, and the sky sends a deadly opportunity. Xiqi is also a place for the succession of human dynasties, with countless dangers. Even the clouds are cautious. Sanxiu Yangqi has seen the cloud fairy. Chen Ping'an first bowed and spoke in a clear voice. Yang has been living in the East China Sea for a long time. It is said that there is a cloud fairy on Sanxian Island, who has an ancient and kind-hearted heart. Coincidentally, Yang had some doubts about his cultivation. He recently visited Sanxian Island, but was told by a boy on the island that the fairy had recently gone out, so I found him here. The clouds frowned slightly. In a pair of beautiful eyes, the divine radiance flows, and the cave is secluded and subtle. I quickly realized that the Chen Ping'an in front of me was not the real Chen Ping'an, but rather a spiritual object or technique condensed from something unknown, with a few divine souls attached inside. External incarnation. Chen Ping'an used to be quiet, but I didn't expect him to have such a trick. Yunxiao was slightly surprised. If you have any questions, just say them here. The clouds restrained their minds and spoke calmly. Chen Ping'an didn't procrastinate and spoke directly. I once saw a giant wielding a giant axe to destroy chaos, transforming all things, but the original spirit was nowhere to be found. What's the solution? You. Cloudy pink lips slightly open. I want to say something, but I can't say anything. Because Chen Ping'an's words were too frightening. Giant wielding an axe and chopping chaos is nothing. But with the addition of the phrase, incarnate all things, it almost means that the Taoist surname said that the giant was Pangu. The 8-9 Xiangong was created by the hands of Sanxian. The ultimate source is Pangu. In addition, as stated in the overall outline of, the divine elephant suppresses prison power, the concept of being composed of 840 million particles is similar to the incarnation of the blood god son of the stick's ancestor, who is 480 million. Make Yunxiao have to doubt something. Is it because Chen Ping'an practiced the 8-9 Xiangong and saw Pangu in the dark? And I still saw the scene of Pangu opening the sky. You should know that there has always been a legend about Pangu circulating in the wilderness. But throughout the entire wilderness, there are few traces of Pangu. During the period of witchcraft, the 12 ancestors of Buzhou Mountain and the Sanqing of Kunlun Mountain fought fiercely for the title of Orthodox Pangu. Sanqing is claimed to be the embodiment of Pangu Yuanshan. The 12 ancestral witches also claimed to be the embodiment of the essence and blood of Pangu's heart. During this period, there was also a demon clan named Taichi Donghuang, who held a chaos clock and claimed that his chaos clock had a connection with Pangu. However, in the wilderness, all the creatures of all ethnic groups have heard of the reputation of Pangu. But no one could see its dignity. However, Chen Ping'an was able to comprehend the scene of Pangu opening the sky from a volume of 8-9 mysteries. If this news were to spread, it would definitely shock the entire flood. For a long time, the cloud finally lifted its teeth lightly and slowly said 5 words. 1 Qi transforms 3 Qing. Chen Ping'an immediately asked, what is the solution to the 3 cleanings? Tai Qing, Yuqing, Shangqing. Chen Ping'an asked again, what is the solution to the Qing dynasty? Yunxiao fiercely gouged out Chen Ping'an. It was also at this time that Yunxiao finally figured out Chen Ping'an's purpose for coming to Xiqi. When practicing the 8-9 mysterious arts, I didn't know what luck I had when I saw the scene of Pangu opening the sky, and gained some insight into the origin of the 8-9 mysterious arts. So he was ready to try practicing the Taoist techniques passed down from Sanqing. Obviously, I want to rely on the 8-9 Xiangong and the Sanqing Daofa to gain a glimpse of the Pangu divine art. This is not a place to talk. The clouds swept a glance at the distant Xiqi camp. It is obvious that in this short while, there have been several divine senses probing over there. I want to see what Yunxiao is doing here. Chen Ping'an followed Yunxiao into the Qingtang camp. Oh, you're not that one. Xiao and Bixiao immediately shouted when they saw Chen Ping'an. But the sisters did not pay much attention to Chen Ping'an on Sanxian Island, only knowing that this person was the unlucky guy saved by the elder sister Yunxiao in the sea. Because there was nowhere to go, I temporarily stayed on Sanxian Island as a laborer. As for what Chen Ping'an's name is, they didn't pay attention. Yang Qi, a scattered person, has met several fairies and fellow Taoists. Chen Ping'an gave the crowd present a check. Everyone also returned gifts to Chen Ping'an one after another. I had a few encounters with Yang Daoyu overseas and we had a great conversation. He once mentioned that if he had any insights on cultivation, he could come to Sanxian Island to communicate with me. Yang Daoyu went to Sanxian Island, but unfortunately my sisters came to Xiqi. Upon hearing the news, he rushed over. Yunxiao raised his hand and calmly pulled at Bixiao, who wanted to shout, shaking his head slightly. Although Bixiao doesn't understand why, since the elder sister doesn't want to say anything, then let's not expose this servant's disguise. During the conversation, it was inevitable to mention the death of Zhao Gongming. When it comes to the death of Zhao Gongming, it is inevitable to talk about Lu Yidao. Oh. The three fairies have already captured the Taoist Lu Yi. Chen Ping'an looked surprised and said, I have heard of this person before. On the surface, he practiced in the West Kunlun Mountains and considered himself an idle person in Kunlun, but in reality, he has other roots. Speaking, one cannot help but look sideways at the clouds. When he was on Sanxian Island, Chen Ping'an's cultivation was sparse, and his path was crossed. It has only been a few days since his 8-9 mysterious skills were passed down, and he unexpectedly saw Pangu Tian in the dark and claimed to know the roots of Yunxiao Lu Yi. What feat does Lu Yi have? When Zhong asked in surprise, a few days ago, Master Gongming fought against the Taoist who was oppressed by the land. After sacrificing the golden dragon scissor, the Taoist actually turned a rainbow and avoided it. The mystery of this escape technique is simply unheard of. Chen Ping'an smiled and said, the method he used is called Jin Wu Hua Hong. Before when Zhong could speak, Zhang Xiao, the leader of the Red Sand Formation, shouted loudly, I know. No wonder Bai Li Tianjuan's fierce formation was completely defeated by that servant. It turns out that this land pressure is actually the last golden crow left in the ancient demon clan's heavenly court world. The last golden crow in the world. Yunxiao couldn't help but take another glance at Chen Ping'an. Others present may not know, but Yunxiao is very clear. All the saints in the Lich Demon realm are willing to take action. But after the Witch Demon's calamity, the one in the Hua Palace secretly came forward and saved the last golden crow of the demon clan's heavenly court, and took Tai Su Tian with him. What's even more wonderful is that, there is a very important reason for the succession of dynasties in the mortal world. The current king of the Great Shang dynasty once wrote erotic poems at the Huahuang Temple, which angered the Virgin Mary of the human race. The layers of causal blessings and land pressure on identity become very subtle. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.